In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to get started with ChatGPT. By now, you've probably already heard and maybe even seen someone use ChatGPT and use AI to make their workflow that little bit easier and faster. What we're going to do today is go through a beginner's point of view to show you how to set up an account with ChatGPT and get started to using the tool for yourself. Of course, if you do like this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up, and if you want to supercharge the ways your computer, hit that subscribe button as well. With that being said, let's get into this. We're going to start by going into a web browser and simply typing in ChatGPT. And the first option is going to be openai.com/blog/ChatGPT. This is a website we're going to go to. And then in the top right hand corner, you have two options. One is the login option if you've used this tool before, and the second is sign up. We're simply going to select on sign up for the first time. Then it's going to ask us to use either an email address or use an account with our Google, Microsoft, or Apple. I'm simply going to select on a Microsoft account. Then you're going to put your details in. You're going to get a two-factor verification prompt in your email address. So you have to jump back to your Hotmail or whatever it may be, verify, then you can start using ChatGPT. From there, you'll be greeted with this little platform option that gives you three options. The first one is ChatGPT, and this is the language model that most people think of now when they think of AI. Dall-E, which is a very cool image generation tool, and we can go through it in another video. And then there is API integration, which if you want to do API integration, you probably already know what you're doing. So for this video, we're going to ignore the first two, and we're going to select on ChatGPT. When ChatGPT opens, this is basically the page that you're greeted with at every single time. In the center, you actually get a few examples, the capabilities of the tool, and of course, some of the limitations. Down the bottom, you have a text message where you can start typing and questioning and putting things into ChatGPT. Before we do that though, on the left-hand side, I want to show you a few things as well. At the top, you have the option of new chat. So this is where when you're using the tool more and more, you may have different chats for different things. You can create new chats when you have different topics you want to talk about. And next to the new chat, you have this little sidebar button that opens or closes to give you more screen real estate. Down the bottom, you have the option of upgrading to ChatGPT Plus, which gives you access to ChatGPT 4, which is the later version of ChatGPT. But for most people getting started, you don't have to worry about upgrading. The free version is more than enough for you. And then down the bottom, you have your profile where you can select on the ellipses, and you can go into the settings, and you can do things like clear all your chats. You can change the theme of your account from light to dark or use the system theme. I'm going to go light for now. And then of course you have data controls here. So if you want to use your chat history and save it, you can actually have this option turned on. Or if you don't, you can actually disable that. If you have sharing links, you can actually manage what you can do with those links. For now, we have no links in here, so that really doesn't make any difference. And then of course, you can export your data if you want to export things out of ChatGPT. And if you've decided for some reason you actually don't want a ChatGPT account at all, you can simply hit on the delete account and you'll delete your ChatGPT account. But with that being said, it's basically everything you need to know about the interface of ChatGPT. How about we start asking it some queries? So what is ChatGPT and how can I use it for my everyday workflow? So you can pop your questions into ChatGPT, and what you'll see here is that it starts to give you a very easy to understand answer. And then of course you have this chat where it gives you a response and you can ask another question or a statement, and you've got this back and forth here. On the left hand side though, you see once we've asked it a question, you actually have the new chat, and it will be named in a second, or you can select on the option here to rename it. You can actually share, so you can share a link to that chat for other people to interact with it, or you can delete it if you've said something silly or you don't want it anymore. Simply hit the delete button and you can delete that chat as well. What I'm going to do now is actually start a new chat to show you what this looks like. So say you could be writing an email and you want to ask a client out to an event that you're hosting. Write me a formal but casual email asking a client of mine to come to a football game on Friday night next week. Simply going to hit send, and then ChatGPT is going to ask or it's going to realize what your question is. And because we said email, it's actually going to give you things like a subject at the top. It's going to give you brackets to put in things like your client's name. And then it's going to give you more information here. And then down the bottom, it's going to ask you to put things like your name, your title, your company information. You can read through here. If you're happy with that, you can simply use the copy button to copy and paste this into Outlook or Gmail, whatever you use. You can give it a thumbs up and you can provide some feedback to this response. Or if you think it was a pretty poor response, you would hit the thumb down button. If you aren't happy with the response, you have two options here. Down the bottom, you can actually say regenerate response, and this will get ChatGPT to rewrite without adding any extra information, but it's going to give you a few different ways of answering the question that you put in. If you're not happy, if you want to pause it there, you can hit stop generating, and it will ask you, was this response better, worse, or the same? Or if you want to add a bit more context to it, simply go down into the send a message option and then say, make it shorter, and a little funnier. So now ChatGPT is going to listen to that new prompt and give you ways to make it a little more engaging. We're not going to go through it in detail, but learning to prompt or ask AI the right questions is a skill that people are going to need to learn to actually take the most advantage of tools like ChatGPT. Because you can see here from that first question or statement that I wrote, you get a pretty generic answer back. Then you give it another prompt like make it shorter and a little bit funnier. And then you can keep giving it these different prompts to customize the way it produces the answers to give you a less generic and a more customized response to basically the prompts that you put in. And there you guys have it. That is an introduction to getting started with ChatGPT. What we did was we went and we created our first ChatGPT account. We looked at the layout and the navigation of the tool, how to look at your chats, the sidebar, how to go into your settings and export, and of course, how to start using ChatGPT, copying, pasting, and regenerating responses, as well as a few prompts. Of course, if you did like this video, let me know by giving a thumbs up, and if you want to supercharge ways your computer, hit that subscribe button as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.